Hey, welcome back to HRH AOR. I'm David Rose. We're here with GetYourRockOut, and I'm here with Tigertailz, the amazing band. I saw you last night on the AOR stage. You were really good. How are you finding the oddly sunny Wales?
I woke up this morning. I thought I woke up in the wrong city because I've never actually seen the sunshine here. So this is the first for us. Yeah.
Every year we come here, it's pouring with rain.
Oh yeah, because I remember I came to HRH AOR a year and a half ago, and it was you just chucking it down every night.
Yeah.
Oh man. You've just released the Lost Reels. Tell me about it. Is it kind of like a basement tapes kind of deal?
Yeah, it's basically mainly a collection of demos that of unreleased tracks that we had in the archive that hadn't been released. An American label called HRH Records came to us and asked us, they wanted stuff that hadn't been released on the web or anything, or fans, bootlegs, and so they put it together quite quickly. We added a couple of tracks with Jules on there. There's a rework of an old track, Fall in Love Again, and a brand new track called F&A. They wanted a signature tune for the label as well, so yeah, it's pretty good.
Oh, fantastic. So a little bit of everything then.
Yeah, I mean, it's a real collector's piece if you're into the band, That's it's a real fans package, I think.
After the thing last night, I don't know how you couldn't be. I suppose, what's it like being kind of in the kind of, HRH AOR and kind of Hammerfest and, Firefest and things like that, where it's like, we're glam, we'll never die?
Yeah, I mean, it seems to, it's a style of music that just kind of never really goes out of fashion, really. It's kind of, I think, everybody seems to.
I think
it's a fun, style
I think
of music.
it's eternally youthful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it as much as it's now getting on 20 years or 25 years in a lot of situations. I just think that it either makes people feel young again when they sing those songs, or they remember when they originally first heard them, or I see a lot of young people at the shows that are finding it for the first time, and I think that that's just as invigorating to us when we see them when we're on stage as it is to see people that have been coming to the shows forever, So.
Yeah, so it's all about kind of almost like, glam's almost kind of like a cycle, so it's kind of just coming back around.
Yeah, I just think that, like, whether their gateway has been, the big major bands like Guns N' Roses and stuff like that, if somebody, says, when they come through town, I've never seen them, I'm going to go see them, and then that creates a doorway where they go and find more music that comes from that style, or it's new bands like Crash Diet or whoever else that have exposed it to them on a new level, and then they go back through the archives to find other bands like ourselves that have been out there forever long. So.
Oh, brilliant. I suppose the one other thing that could possibly is the kind of, the kind of proliferation of kind of, digital distribution, where you can kind of get, like, so many kind of, older albums, you can kind of get them and find them, where in the past you had to look for, like, bootlegs and stuff.
Yeah.
So I suppose, and I've kind of been asking it to a lot of the kind of AOR bands I've been interviewing, not the one I've interviewed since, and it's, what do you think the kind of, there's kind of like been a big kind of internet revolution in music, and kind of how has that kind of really changed kind of how Tigertailz has kind of worked?
I think that's a question for Jay, because really, like, he's when he established Tigertailz back, in the mid-'80s, and he's been there from when they were releasing vinyl only all the way through to what's going on today, so he's probably got the best perspective on all of that.
I don't know, I mean, I think we approach writing songs the same way as we always did. I think a good song is a good song. I think the recording process is probably the bit that's changed the most, and how you distribute and sell your music. It's very difficult to obviously sell, because you're not actually selling product anymore, a physical product. Naturally, even the CDs kind of pretty much died out. But for actually writing and recording songs, I mean, the writing process is much the same. An idea comes from anything, a vocal melody or guitar riff, whatever. But the recording of it, you can do so much of it yourself, and even when you do go into the studio, it's a lot less complex than it used to be. It's you're empowered that you can do it yourself and actually use studios. But I mean, we used to pay like £1,500 a day for studios, and it's much cheaper to make records now.
Yeah, you can kind of almost do it in your bedroom these days, and kind of get like pretty good results. Obviously, not kind of fully studio quality, but stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, most of the stuff you listen to has been recorded on laptops and computers. Yeah. I mean,
I suppose that's the other thing. What kind of advice would you give to kind of a new kind of glam band kind of coming in, like, and they want to kind of get to like this kind of festival level?
I think it's not just about looks. You got to have the hooks. It's all well and good to look $1 million, but I think sometimes a lot of bands forget that you got to have songs too. And I think that's
one of the main problems with a lot of the new kind of glam bands is a lot of them look great, like Jules was saying, but you've got to have the songs. You got to have both. You know, you can't just look cool and not have any songs. Write good songs, in other words.
It'll be a short ride otherwise, I think. So.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's it. A lot of bands, as I say, they mentioned the recording. It's quite easy for people to record new music, which is a great thing. But I think maybe the younger bands, one of the things they forget is that you've got to have the song there. At least the core elements of a song it's got to have a vibe. It's got to be hooky. It can't just be completely throwaway. There's got to be some substance about the whole thing.
Definitely. I suppose final question: what's next for you? What you up to in the future?
We're in the studio at the moment working on a new record. It's going to be the follow-up to our Knives EP. It's going to be called Daggers, but whereas it was going to be an EP where kind of getting through the songs quite quickly. There's a lot coming out, so we think we might actually do a full album. So that'll be maybe towards the end of this year, probably more likely early next year now.
Then we're playing the Rock and Bike Festival in July in Leicester, and I'm sure more shows will come up at some
we're not
point.
Actively searching stuff out, but if offers come in for festivals like they did with Hard Rock Hell, it's the same thing. Like if it's good, then we'll be there.
Well, it seeks out, so that's a brilliant thing. Okay, thank you very much. This has been Get Your Rock Out. I've been David Rose. This has been Tigertailz. Lost Reel's already out. Look out for Daggers coming soon. Fingers crossed.